So since Mark Anthony's always telling me to just make my own something, first I'm going to ask the question of Mark Anthony, if I make a website or a game of some sort or something to that effect to combat moderators, are you going to be the first donator? I sincerely doubt it. So, are you going to donate to a Jim Profit cause? No? Then shut your fucking mouth. Now, on to what I am going to talk about. I have thought about making a Kickstarter program. I don't like Kickstarter. I don't like people who start Kickstarters. I think it's a fucking scam, and I stick by that. But if it's going to be a scam, then you should scam the scammers. Now, how would you go about doing that? Well, my idea here is that if I were to start a Kickstarter program, it would be in order to scam Valve and Team Fortress 2 by extension. The idea here is that, well, I have a list of things of what's wrong with Team Fortress 2 alone, let alone Valve as a company, but if I were to start a Kickstarter program, it would be to raise money to hire people to make a game just like Team Fortress 2. I mean, just like it, down to the guns and the sound effects, everything. Maybe not quite as loud and obnoxious and autistic as Team Fortress 2, but essentially it would be Team Fortress 2. And probably for copyright reasons you would have to name it something else, but it would be heavily implied. Or I may just go the extra mile and even name it the same fucking thing. And, you know, even if they give some kind of halt, desist order or whatever, I'm not gonna fucking care. You know, they can't do anything to me legally unless I'm selling it. Like, if I make a Kickstarter to raise money to pay people to make a game, but I don't plan to use the game as a commercial product, and I just release it out to the public for free, then there's nothing they can do about it. The only reason I would have to actually sell the game would be to rub it in Valve's face, which is very tempting in and of itself. Now, on to the reasons. Mind you, this might take another parter because there's a lot of fucking reasons. The first and foremost reason is lag. Now, I understand that companies cannot be held responsible for all of the lag. I mean, lag is something that exhibits in any game because it takes the processing of all this information all the time, and different people's computers have different connection levels. They process the information at different levels. And a lot of times on gaming servers, it depends on a generic brand. It depends on the average connection rather than your individual connection. So don't tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you can find time to upgrade every goddamn little thing, and you have all this money in your pocket, you can at least try to do something about the lag, and yet they don't. And even if there is lag in the game itself, it does not justify there being lag outside of the game. Why is it when you sign out of Team Fortress 2, it takes about half a fucking hour to actually get out of it, and instead you have to hear all these loud noises of the game, and you're on this black screen as it's in between going out and going back to your, server, your wallpaper or whatever the fuck. You know, you have to deal with all this bullshit in between. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about the lag in and of the game. I'm talking about the lag outside of the game, trying to go into the game. There's all this shit. It fucks with your computer. You might as well say that Steam program is a virus, because the short acts like a virus. So that is the most important quality that needs to be eradicated. And you could actually eradicate that right away if you didn't have a fucking Steam account. But that's how they make their money. That's how they screw everybody over. So they're not going to get rid of that. Another thing is intentional imbalances. Now, as somebody that takes video games seriously as an artistic expression, since they want to argue that video gaming is an art form, then fucking act like it. Take this shit seriously. If you're gonna say it's an art form, then go the extra mile to make a good product. And they don't do that. They don't fucking care what they release. They shell out any new kind of gun no matter what the fuck. And they don't even listen to the fans. You know, if the fans made some imbalanced bullshit, at least it had something to do with the fact that they thought it was fun or original. It was what the fans desired. But no, they just release what they think is a good idea and don't playtest it or anything, and just, we have to accept this now imbalanced bullcrap. Why? Because by the way the drop system works, you're either going to have to wait a long fucking time to get said weapon to stay on top to actually be equal to other players, or you're going to have to go to Steam Network and buy the gun. Oh, isn't that convenient? So the intentional imbalances are there so that you are motivated to go to Steam Network and buy the gun yourself. And whether or not it costs a quarter or a penny or whatever, it doesn't matter. This is, mathematics on the scale of entire population. 300,000 pennies adds up. 300,000 quarters definitely adds up. What is Valve doing with all that fucking money? They sure as hell aren't making new games with it. They sure as hell aren't updating and actually improving upon the game. They're just sitting on it. That is wrong. That is illegal. And yet nobody fucking cares. Okay. The third reason, server hegemony. Server hegemony because when you go on Team Fortress 2, there is about 2 or 3 really strong servers. These servers are like known by everybody. They control the entirety of Team Fortress 2 mods and things like that. Golden Gun comes to mind. Or the Golden Machine Gun. Whatever the fuck. It should be called Piss Gun because these people piss on each other like Kanye West. All they are is a bunch of moderator pieces of shit that love to rape any newcomer that comes along. So that's most of Team Fortress 2. 90% of it is these 3 or 4 servers that control everything, and probably they were put there on purpose by Valve. The fourth reason is individual switch, yet hardly any team scramble. In Team Fortress 2, there is this concept of team scramble. At the end of a round, if you suck really, really badly, the teams are scrambled. Every single player is randomly assigned to one of the teams. That makes sense. Individual teams switching while the match is going on does not make sense. I did not work hard capturing, let's say, 2 flags for my red team, and now I'm switched to blue team and have to start over from scratch just to have to hear as the loudest volume possible, you failed. No, you fucking failed. You failed to make a good game where I was rewarded for my work initially, getting those 2 flags, yet somehow that means nothing, and now I'm on blue team, and now I'm treated as though I was losing from the get-go. That is not how you design a game. That is not professional. That is some amateur bullshit. No, fucking amateurs would know better. Amateurs work goddamn hard on their games. A lot of these independent developers put their heart and soul into that shit. Valve does not. Major game industry does not. Fuck them, shoot their kids in the head. So, then we have incompatibility with every bit of technology. I mean, seriously. Every time I go on a Team Fortress 2 server, I, bitch about the lag, and they just say, your computer sucks. Your computer sucks. So, everybody's computer sucks. Every single person's. Guess what? It's not the computer. It's you. It's your stupid ass defending Team Fortress 2. The game sucks. Why isn't the game compatible with any fucking bit of technology? How are they going to say that now it's available on Apple? Who fucking cares? It's going to lag like shit anyway. Apparently nobody's computer can process this bullshit. And why the hell would it be able to? There's 90 million things going on at once. 90 million things that don't need to fucking be there. It's just there to ring that autistic aspect of your mind that keeps you loud noises and bright colors. No, make a fucking professional game. Make a game with sound mechanics, sound construction, something that is compatible with most hardware. I'm not a rich guy, but I have a decent computer. Why am I having to deal with all this bullshit, all these CPU problems, when it's just a fucking game? So there's no reason for that. I shouldn't have to ask that question. And you should sure as hell not answer back, because your computer sucks. No, that's not a real answer. Why the fuck is it doing that in the first place? So, I'm running out of time here, about 20 seconds left, and there's still some issues I want to cover. So, I'll get into a part 2 after this. See you later.